Hi guys, I'm back today to share with you 5 ways to measure and track your goals. Also, I'm going to share with you ways to determine if your goal was a success or a failure. Tip number 1 to measure and track your goal is to use your phone. So I use my phone in 2 ways. I usually set an alarm. So if it's something that I need to do, like I want it to be the first thing I do in the morning, I'll set an alarm so that I can wake up and I'll see do 30 minutes of yoga. 5:30, 30 minutes of yoga. But you can also use that for something like drinking more water. If that's your goal, to drink more water, and you set to drink 5 glasses a day, you can set 5 different alarms so that at 5 different times of day you get an alarm to know that you need to drink a glass of water. You can also download an app, a habit tracking app on your phone. I use a habit tracking app on my phone, and if you'd like to know what it is, just let me know in the comments and I'll leave some examples. My third tip is to make your tracker or whatever you're using to keep track of your goal visible. So if it means putting it on a fridge, on a mirror, on your bedroom door, or putting it somewhere that you can see it every day, then that is the second tip. I'll give you an example. If you're going to use your fridge, so you have maybe 5 blue magnets for 5 glasses of water. You put those blue magnets on one side of the fridge, so each time you have a glass of water, you can move it to the other side of the fridge, or you can put that magnet on top of a piece of paper shaped like a glass of water that you have on the fridge, so you can see that you filled up your 5 glasses. That's one way. Or you can just have a note, a sticky note, or a list stuck up on a mirror, so every time you oil pull in the morning in the bathroom, you can tick, or you can draw a line across it. You can put it up on your bedroom door, so every time you leave your room, you know you have to say one affirmation. You can do anything with these. They're very, very broad, so just choose something and make sure that it's visible, that you can see it, so that you can be remembered to do it every day. So for my third tip, I use a calendar. My calendar is very special to me because I got this one as a gift, and I get to color in as well as keep track of different things happening with these big squares, whatever I'm working on. So if I'm doing monthly goals, which I usually do, I would use these squares to write in whatever I'm tracking. So I'll show you. This was April. And for April, I was reading a book. I think it was Think and Grow Rich, but I'm not 100% sure. And there's this exercise that you do that every day you give yourself, starting with $1,000, you give yourself $1,000 on day 1, and then every other day you double the money. So day 2 would be 2,000, day 3 would be 4,000, and so on. And then you would have to write out or determine how you're going to spend that money every day for a month. So this was mine for April. So every month I would write everything I would do with this money and fill it into the squares. So that's one way you can use this. So one month I had set a goal for myself to match my 9 to 5 salary with my side hustle income. So I recorded every day in one of these squares how much money that I made. So I would be able to see it every day and tally it up. I wouldn't tally up every day, but like every week I would see where I was, and I'd know if I needed to do something extra or work a little harder so that I could achieve my goal at the end of the month. I've also used this one in August. I started out, but I didn't quite finish. I started using this to write daily affirmations. I've also used the calendar to write in my gratitude list. So every day I would write something in these squares with the dates, what I was grateful for. The fourth tool for tracking and measuring your habits has to do with money. But actually it can be anything that's connected to collecting, or something physical that you can put into a jar. So this is a money jar, and last year my goal was to have $1,000 at the end of my 100 days by collecting $10 a day and putting it into a money bin. So if you have a similar goal, a saving goal, then this is a great way to keep track and a great way to collect and make sure that you're achieving your goal. But what if you have like one like this, so you can't really see how much money you have in there? Just dropping money in every day just isn't motivating you. Even if you have a glass container, you can't really count how much is in there every day. So what I did, I got a sheet of paper, and I just used the paper to like measure around the jar to see what I needed to cover it. Then I would cut out that part, and before I stuck it on, I drew in $10 bills, and I drew 100 of them all over the jar, all over the paper. So when I stuck it on, they'd be all around. You don't have to draw if you don't want to. You could just write $10 100 times, or you could do like a circle around maybe $10 and add it up. So like you do one that says 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 until you got to 100. So that at least you'd know right on every time you drop the $10 in, you would know how much or where you are in the game. So I like coloring and drawing, so that it was fun for me to color in my $10 bills every time I put one in. But there are many ways to do this. Now, this is great for money, but you can also do it for other things that aren't monetary or maybe not even physical. Like I've done it to collect my manifestations. So anytime I feel like I've manifested something big or small, I would write down what it was, what happened on a sticky note, and put it in my money bin or put it in a jar or a box. And at the end of the year, or maybe you could do that at the end of the month, I would open it up and read all the amazing things that I manifested. My final tip for monitoring, measuring, and tracking your habits so that you can achieve your goal is to use a bullet journal. I'll just show you a few pages. So here I have different things. At that time it was my 37 things to 37. I did it for my 36th birthday, and I was counting down to 37, and I had 37 things that I wanted to achieve. So everything here was on this page. So the numbers were here. Each time I did it, I'd color in one of the squares. I also want to show you what I did for last year's 100-day challenge. So this is the page, and up here it says 100 days, and it was so basic. All I did, 10 across, 10 down, that's 100. I wrote what I was tracking on the top, and each time I did it, I would exit out. I numbered it so that I would see how far along I was. You could also put the dates, because that might be able to help you keep track better. I'm also doing 100 days bullet journaling for this year. However, I haven't quite finished yet. Right now, I'm just recording everything in my journal, but I started working on it last night. And if you'd like to see more, if you'd like to see what I'm tracking and how I'm tracking it, then let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to share it with you. We've gone through the 5 tips, the 5 recommendations I have for tracking and measuring your challenges or your habits for the goal that you want to meet at the end of your 100-day, 30-day, 7-day challenge. The first thing was to use your phone. Set an alarm on your phone or download a tracking app. The second one was to make it visible, right? Make it visible. Stick it up on a fridge, on your mirror, on your bedroom door. Put it in a place in the middle of the living room where you'll see it every day. The third one was to use a calendar, and that one was my favorite. So you use a calendar that has these boxes or these spaces where you can write in whatever you did, and it's excellent for 30-day challenges. The fourth one was specifically about stuff you collect, like money or savings, but also it can be for other things too. Anything that you can put into a money bin or jar or a container. The fifth tip was to use a bullet journal. Now, it's only a tip because it's something that I do, and my habit tracking bullet journal is like my companion. Yes, the calendar is my favorite, but I open that journal every single day, and I get to see my progress across the page every single day. I get to feel happy about it. I also get to feel like, not bummed out, but I get to know when I need to pick up the pace and I need to focus on something. So next, I'm going to help you now determine how to know if your goal was a success or a failure. When you choose a goal that's easy to know if you succeeded, like making $1,000 at the end of the month or the end of the 100 days, if you have $1,000, then you know your goal was successful. However, sometimes it's not that easy. What if your goal was to be more grateful? Or what if your goal was to drink more water? How do you determine if it was a success at the end of the challenge? Okay, so if you did drink 5 glasses of water every day, then yes, you can congratulate yourself. But what if you only drank 5 or 4 glasses of water every day? Or maybe you just drank most days, but not all of the days. Didn't you drink more water? So isn't that a success? I like to think about goals in a way that, or habits that change my life as being successful or a failure. If I'm doing something every day and it has absolutely no effect, it hasn't changed anything, it hasn't made me a better person or even a worse person, but better person, then I wouldn't count it as a success. But that's just me. Maybe you just want to see that you can achieve something, you can do it. And for you, just accomplishing that would be a success. I choose to count how the goal has impacted my life and use that to determine whether it was a success or a failure. So if I've set a goal for myself and during the process, the challenge of getting there, I realize that my life has begun changing or it has changed for the better, then regardless of whether I did 100 days or whatever number of days I set out to do, once I can already see that positive impact, then I'm going to count it as a success. If I don't see any change, if I'm doing the same thing over and over again for 100 days or more, then I wouldn't continue, I wouldn't feel motivated, and I would count it as a failure. And it's okay to fail. Sometimes we go through this process and we realize that the goal we set out for ourselves in the end isn't really something that we're that interested in or passionate about, or it's just not something that serves us. And that's a great lesson to learn. So maybe in that aspect it is indeed a success. These goals are not about perfection. You didn't start this out so you could torture yourself with being write about every single step or getting every single day in. Even though you don't get every single day in, once you're consistent and you remain committed to the process, you will achieve your goal. Remember your why. You did this so that you could improve your life in some way, so that you could feel a sense of accomplishment or achievement, so that you could be a better person. So enjoy the process. Really record. I use my journal to record how I feel when I do the things that I do, my different challenges every day. I hope you found some benefit in these. Also, if there was a habit tracking tool or a way of measuring your goals that you use that I didn't share, I'd love to learn it. I'd love to learn more about tracking habits and goals from you, and I look forward to getting your feedback on this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.